Hey guys, Spartan here, at my actual, longest estate, currently, to talk to you about something that was asked of me in the comments. So, this is going to be me running about a tangent of classes and what my least favorite class is. A few years ago I said the Houndmaster was my least favorite. If you had asked me recently what my least favorite unit was, as in like a month or two ago, I would 100% say the Grave Robber, but recently I have been playing with the Grave Robber quite a bit more in my Crimson Court file, and I have found the Grave Robber to actually be fairly good. So, Grave Robber, it was just a class that I neglected for just a fairly long time, and playing with her a bit more, I can say she's actually pretty good. She's not just a worse version of the Highwayman, because the Highwayman is really good. And I will confirm that yes, my least favorite unit is the Houndmaster. As they said, a lot of people praise the Houndmaster for his versatility and many things that he can do. However, that's one thing I don't like about him, the fact that he doesn't do anything particularly good, at least compared to other heroes. And how's that? Well, let's go over it. So, primary skill, Hound's Rush. It's a decent skill, I guess you could say. It's a extra damage versus a marked skill for a mark unit, so, you know, always welcome, always welcome. It does 100% extra damage versus marked and 35% damage versus beast. Now, let me ask you, what dangerous beasts are there in the game that are really worth marking? Maybe Corpse Eaters? Honestly, if you ask me, I literally cannot think of any really dangerous beasts. They're all, like, unholy or eldritch. So Hound's Rush's bonus damage versus beast is less prominent than Collect Bounties, extra damage versus human, because there's Wolf, there are fair few human bosses, there's the Fanatic, who's also a real pain in the ass, even though marking comps aren't good against him. Collect Bounty is still fairly decent extra damage versus that. And we have the Arbalest Sniper Shot, which just gets 13 extra crit. Sniper Shot also has high accuracy at 115. Hound's Rush is 105, it's the same as Collect Bounty. It's decent, but it's not particularly reliable unless you have a mark from the Arbalest or the Musketeer, but don't use the Musketeer because she sucks, to remove the dodge on enemy unit. So, what's another thing I don't like? Well, let's go over Hound's Harry. Hound's Harry is actually a fairly good skill. It is pretty reliable, damage modifier of minus 75 isn't that bad. It's got a crit mod of -1, but that doesn't matter if you're stacking crit for attempting stress heals for crits against the entire party. Butcher's Circus has proved that this is a worthwhile concept, as Houndmaster crit gives extra 20% bleed chance, and crits in general have a higher chance to bleed or apply any status effects. That's a hidden mechanic that the game never really tells you about, but it's there. And 3 points for 3 rounds. If you do bleed all opponents, that is a decent amount of bleed. That's like 36 total bleed. And it's got higher bleed chance than normal. It's got an extra 10%, so Hound's Harry is decent, I guess. Now, the real reason you'd want to use the Houndmaster is for his mark, of course. His mark is the best mark in the game. It's got, well, of course, it's got the accuracy that a mark could have, almost flawless. And it debuffs the target for 30 protection, 170% base. That is 30 higher than the other debuffs of the marks. I mean, sure, the Bounty Hunter's mark applies a speed buff to him, but it's less protection removal and it's less likely to do so. So, Houndmaster's mark is actually fairly reliable. If you put a debuff charm on him or something like that, he has pretty much no chance to not debuff. So, that's probably his best factor. Cry Havoc, in theory, it is a better stress heal than the Jesters. The only problem is that in reality it kind of sucks, and there's not a great way to increase it. As in, the Houndmaster doesn't have very good support for his stress healing skill. We'll get to that soon enough. But here's the thing most people use him for, Guard Dog. Guard Dog, in my opinion, is absolute garbage. So, yeah. Guarding, what does it do? It stops another unit of yours getting hit by drawing the focus onto one unit, and mitigating it somehow. So, For example, Houndmaster here attempts to dodge tank the opponent, and the Man-at-Arms has protection so that he'll take, like, no damage from it. But the problem with Guard Dog is it's an all-or-nothing thing, so sure, you can stack, like, Ancestor's Coat or protective... the protective trinket that the Houndmaster has, what's it called? Protective Collar for a massive plus 27 dodge from just trinkets, plus 20 dodge from Hound Guard or whatever it's called at max level. So that's like 77 dodge. That's fairly good. Like, that's almost enough to reliably dodge most moves in the game. The only problem is that Guard Dog lasts one round, meaning it's kind of trash if you're wanting to actually reliably protect someone, as you'll have to guard after guard after guard if you actually want them to not be there. I mean, the only dodge support that actually helps this is the Huskfang Whistle from Color of Madness, and it says plus 66% guard duration. That's because his guard lasts 2 rounds, but since buffs go away at the end of your turn, it effectively lasts 1 round. So until the Houndmaster's next turn, Huskfang Whistle makes it so it lasts 2 turns, sure, but it lowers dodge by 10, which is the whole fucking point of using Guard Dog, so that you don't get hit. So it's not very reliable. And this is also the stress support. So plus 40% stress skills while guarding. This is the only support he has. If you do not use this, then you have to use the Ancestor Scroll. I don't have this because my file is currently glitched, because it's a very old file and it's gone through betas and junk like that. But yes, if you want to guard and stress heal, you have to use this. I mean, the Jester has Dirge for the Devoured, which is an amazing trinket. 25% stress skills, not as much as this, but you don't have to be guarding, and it applies plus 25% damage if you have Lordanium in your inventory. That's not much of an investment. It's really good. Also, you really benefit very little if the Houndmaster is actually getting attacked. Like, sure, you're preventing the opponent from hitting you, but you're not making any progress in the fight. The Man-at-Arms has a riposte. Yeah, this one doesn't have it upgraded because he is just there to, like, dodge tank and, like, stun. But at max level, hang on, I have a... yeah. At max level, this is a very reliable way to actually kill opponents, especially with crits, and if you have, like, Hot to Trot or something like that in the first round. It is... I found that Hot to Trot plus Quick Draw Charm makes Retribution an incredibly reliable way to take out almost an entire enemy team, as long as they are not, like, too resilient. Retribution is just really good. Combined with the fact that the Man-at-Arms' guard, by default, will last 2 rounds, it's just a much better Houndmaster. Lick Wounds, it heals for 8 HP, it is outshone by, like, the other heals. Solemnity heals for 10, while the Hellion only heals for 4, she also cures Blight and Bleed and buffs herself for damage and accuracy, so, like, Lick Wounds can't even compare. Even the Abomination. Where's my Abomination? The Abomination, sure, only heals 5, but he gets a 10 stress heal, which is very good when you consider the fact that he gets a lot of stress when he's transformed. Transform also heals 10 HP, so it is also another healing skill. It's like, it doesn't even take up a turn to use Transform, it just stresses your party out. Oh, better stress heal that stress that your party gets with Cry Havoc. And Blackjack. Blackjack is a decent stunning move. 115 accuracy, 150% stun base at max level. It's pretty good. It's basically just Flashbang, except it does damage, but Flashbang can hit the 4th rank. But another thing of this is that Bounty Hunter has support for, like, Flashbang and Uppercut. But Uppercut's, like, not as good as it was before. Basically, if you want a unit that can stun these 3 ranks with good stun chance and good accuracy, use the Abomination, because the Abomination has the best stun in the game, aside from its lower than average chance by default. So you'll notice it only has a 130% chance to stun. That's lower than Rampart, that's lower than Stunning Blow, that's lower than Dazzling Light. But the thing is that the Abomination has incredible stun support. So Padlock of Transference is a really good stun trinket for 20% stun skill chance and 20% blight skill chance. It's basically the you stay human form, because it turns manacles up to... It's effectively just blackjack, except it does more damage, of course, because Abomination has higher base damage, and he can be in slots 2 and 3 instead of just 1 or 2. You cannot use it in slot 1 like you can in Butcher's Circus for balance reasons. But we haven't even gotten to the best trinket, Broken Key. This is an absolutely busted trinket that adds 15 accuracy and 35% stun skill chance, meaning it's the most effective stun trinket in the entire game, and it's been given to the Abomination, who already has a really good stun. Basically, combined with the 115 accuracy of Manacles, it goes up to 130, and it becomes a 165% stun base. Like, some classes can only dream of having stuns this good. And that's a 15 accuracy for everything. It's not even just range skills. Like, you can actually hit reliably with Slam, which has garbage accuracy in the base game. Rage goes up to 120 accuracy. That's just crazy. This is a really good trinket. And what does the bloody Houndmaster have to support stuns? He has Cudgel Weight, which gives 30% stun skill chance for -1 speed. I don't currently have it in this file because I don't know. This file has a very weird assortment of trinkets I have. I've got a fucking Agonist Day from when the time when you could win Kickstarter trinkets from the tavern. But yeah, otherwise you're just gonna use like a stun amulet for 10 stun skill chance after this was nerfed. So what exactly can you do with the Houndmaster that you can't do with other units? Well, I see him mostly used for dodge tanking, but the thing is, the Man-at-Arms' bolster for 10 dodge for the entire fight allows you to dodge tank while making progress. Like, you could just bring 3 to 4 Man-at-Arms' and just dodge tank away. He only has 5 less dodge than the Houndmaster, and he has 18 more HP, so he's going to stay alive longer than him. Also, let's go over his camping skills. Man's Best Friend, it's decent. It's -20 stress. That's just 5 more than an Encourage. That's average. Release the Hound is nice for a bit of scouting chance. It's effectively... Where's the Grave Robber? Grave Robber. It's effectively like Night Moves that takes double time and gives 50% more effectiveness. I'm pretty sure the Bounty Hunter has one too. Yeah, Bounty Hunter has Scout Ahead for like 1 extra time than that for 25% scouting. So, is it better than Scout Ahead or Night Moves? The answer to that is a clear-cut no, because it's like less return on your investment. He's got Therapy Dog, which is actually really good. It's pretty much a straight-up better version of the Crusader's Zealous Speech, which it does this, but it applies 5 less stress, or well, 5 more stress removal, and a 5% stronger buff for 2 extra time. So that move is actually pretty good. It's still not as good as the Jester's version, though, which... Come on, man. You just can't compete with the Jester, though. It's a fair point there. And lastly, he has Hound's Watch. So, prevents nighttime ambush, -20% chance party surprised, and +20% chance to surprise monsters. Do these statistics sound familiar? Well, they better, because it is literally the same as Bandit Sense. It's exactly the same as Bandit Sense. Just run the Highwayman. If you're wanting to remove that, just run the Highwayman. I guess having one that helps your party if you're not wanting to run Highwayman is good. But, yeah. That relies on you running Houndmaster in the first place. So what trinkets does he have to support his damage? Well, let's sort by class restriction and take a look, shall we? Probably a missing one, but Spike Collar is the main one. 20% damage, 30% bleed skill chance. It isn't bad, but -20% healing received can be bad when paired with a Occultist, which, quite frankly, is the healer you're most likely going to pair with the Houndmaster because he has the Mark. And the Mark is basically what you're going to be using before your Houndmaster strikes. So, another downside with the Houndmaster is actually the fact that he's pretty fast. Usually you want your units that can capitalize on marks to be slower than the Occultist. The Occultist has 8 speed. It's pretty good. There's a good chance that the Houndmaster will outspeed your Occultist if he's, like, running any speed trinkets or anything like that. There are good speed trinkets. The Crescendo Box and the Ancestor's Candle are some of the very best trinkets, especially since the Candle grants dodge, which is something the Houndmaster can use. So you're more likely to outspeed him if you run a good trinket like this. And sure, you could run Ancestor's Musket Ball and fish for crits with AoE. That is probably the one thing that the Houndmaster does the best. Or at least would be they do the best. Until the Shieldbreaker came along with Impale and does that much better. I mean, yeah, he's got effectively one more crit baseline. And she does have good range skills. Captivate. It also does extra damage versus Marked. It applies Blight. It has high crit. It's got Puncture, which is a range move. I could have sworn that Puncture was melee, but I guess. And yeah, Shieldbreaker is essentially better. She has Serpent Sway, which is really good. So, basically, why would you use the Houndmaster over any other unit? I don't know why. That is, frankly, why I think the Houndmaster is the worst unit in the game. He can't even dodge tank very good. He's pretty much outclassed by Invigorating Vapors. Even Protect Me's buff, which lasts 4 to 5 rounds. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it lasts a very long time. The Guard and the Mark don't last very long, but that buff lasts a very long time. Sure, 3 uses per battle. But unless you're playing Endless Mode, then that's all you really need. Also, don't even bother trying to bring a Houndmaster to be your stress healer at Endless Harvest, because that's not going to work. I have tried. I tried with Huskfang Whistle, just to try to mitigate both damage and stress. It did not work. Do not bring Houndmaster. Houndmaster man bad. Just bring like Crusader or something. But bring Miller's Pipe. Use Miller's Pipe in the Endless Harvest. Where is Miller's Pipe? I don't have that purchased on this file, it seems. Or do I? Oh my god, where is this pipe? Pipe. I must have lost the pipe, but basically the pipe is better stress healing than bloody Houndmaster can do. It's just not reliable enough. If someone is afflicted, then sure, you can stress heal everyone at the same time. He's most likely going to resist it though. And unlike the Jester, where's my Jester gone? Unlike the Jester, if someone refuses the stress heal from Cry Havoc, you don't get a do-over of their turn. Like, Jester tries to stress heal someone, they say no, he's like, okay, I'll do something else with my turn. The Houndmaster just does it anyway and stress heals everyone else, or at least attempts to. So yeah, that's the reason I do not like the Houndmaster.